Hello, airplane fans. It's been a couple of years since I've collected die-cast airplanes, but a few new castings have come out, and so I have to catch up on those castings. I'm not one of those people that need to have 17, of the same casting, which a lot of people in the die-cast airplane community do. I just need to have one casting. Okay, so this is the Airbus A400M. It's made by a company called Gemini, and Gemini has a series called Max, which are their military planes. So it's this is your typical packaging from Gemini. It's a cardboard box, and there's a see-through window here. And I wish every brand of every collectible did this. They tell a story, right? They actually try to teach you something here. So the A400M Atlas is a tactical airlifter. It's a cargo plane basically for militaries. And it was the replacement for the C130 Transall and the Hercules. That should actually say C160 Transall. Anyways, two old cargo planes in the European community. Anyways, this is saying it first flew in 2009 is the Grizzly. TP400 engines. Massive overruns, delays, all this stuff. Now it's being used. And then here we have the actual registration of this actual airplane is FRBAN. And this was delivered in service, I guess, in 2018. Takeoff weight, 81,000 pounds. Goes around 485 miles per hour. And it has around a 2,000 mile range. It actually gives you the wingspan dimensions, the height, the length. It teaches you about the model. I don't know why, like, all the car die-cast don't tell you even what the car is, which is really strange. I found another website here that this airplane, well, actually, let's continue on. I'll get it out of the package as I talk more. On the back here, there's not much to see, it seems. And then there's a website and social media and all that stuff. And then there's the actual part number for this particular livery. Alright. So inside these things you get a blister pack. It's a double blister. No additional paper or anything like that. So here's the bottom and then the top. And then this is pretty much how all die-cast airplanes are shipped. This type of blister, and there's always pieces of plastic to keep the blister from scratching the paint. Sometimes there might be oil, sometimes there won't. This one looks like it's a little oily. Okay, so as I compare to the photos, I shall bring up some other topics here. So this plane has two pilots and a loadmaster, and then a third person could be optional in the flight deck. Boy, how do I even hold this? I hold it without dropping it, that's the key thing. Okay. The cockpit is actually derived from the Airbus A380 commercial double-decker plane. This thing can go, 0.72 Mach, which is, I guess, 485 miles per hour. And then a different source told me this became operational in December 2013, but it actually derives from 1982. That's when they started planning to replace the cargo planes. There's 174 of these on order, and over half of them have been delivered already. Oh boy, this is a tough one to hold as well. Alright, well, yeah, so I do think it looks like these photographs. Okay, let's move this camera down a little bit. Try to see what kind of details we have here. So it's a matte finish gray, as most military planes are. I'm not sure if they're coated with anything special for anti-radar properties, but wouldn't surprise me if they were. The windows are just, painted on. That's very common for 1/400 scale. Sometimes in 1/200 you might get plastic windows, but for 1/400 they're almost always printed on. But the printing is really nice on these die-cast airplanes. Most often you need a magnifying glass to actually see stuff. Right now we're at 4 times magnification. So, let's see, some door printing. Some NACA ducts here. All sorts of yellow stripes for some reason, I'm not sure. This must be an escape hatch, I imagine. All sorts of dots around here, maybe sensors, airspeed sensors, those pitot tubes. And then you got these nice little antennae sticking out here. These are separate pieces. They usually drill a hole in the casting and then insert these pieces. These look like they're plastic and not metal. Obviously this is a separate plastic piece. This is a refueling probe, I believe, so it can fly into another plane and refuel. Boy, it's kind of hard to hold this thing. It's so big. It does look a little oily. I have to wipe that off later. But yeah, we got some casted in hatches, and I don't even know what this is, you know. Naturally the props, they are this crazy like shape. I'm not sure how to even describe props like this, but probably for silence and probably for fuel efficiency, or probably for fuel efficiency over anything else as to why they're shaped this way. Okay, the leading edge of the wings are painted silver. So it seems like there's four little, I don't know if these are radar fins or what, but they're on there. Some sort of electronic sensors, antennae or whatnot. Hatches back here, more details, the French flag, the registration there, window ports. Not too many windows on the cargo plane, of course. Then the French flag, and then all the very flap details and cutouts. This one's printed on, some are molded in. Okay. I'm going to try to flip this guy over. Trying to be careful here. Gotta back out, it's too big. Alright. So this is a separate piece, but I don't think it can move or come out. It's just there to be plastic. So if this is all solid diecast, the thing wouldn't sit nose forward. They have to hollow out the back, otherwise it'll just rest like this, you know, being so heavy. So they hollow it out, and so it's always going to lay flat like it should. So I think it's smart that they do that. It's a little unsightly, obviously, to see this gap, but I'd rather have the plane sit normally. And besides, when you put it down, you're not going to see that gap anyways. It's nice that this brand actually puts their brand logo on here so you know who made it. It doesn't tell you what the airplane is, though. I think it would be nice if they actually printed A400M or something there, but it is pretty small. Yeah, so you got all these little other printed details, which I have no clue as to what they are or what they do on the real plane. You can see the landing gear here. There's 6 axles in the back, 1 in the front, and then I don't think these move. I think they're just solid. The turboprop engines here. They have the exhaust ports hanging out the back there. Okay, yeah, a little more detail there, end lights, and French flag. I think these might be additional thrusters. I'm not sure. No, maybe not. It can't be. But I do see them on the rear takeoff image, but not sure what those are. I don't really know much about airplanes, guys. All I know is I like pretty much all mechanical things. Motorcycles, airplanes, boats, submarines, cars, trucks, vans, tanks. Anything with wheels and a motor, or anything with a motor, generally I tend to like. So I kind of collect these things because A, they look cool to me, but B, you know, if I can learn a little bit of something, that doesn't hurt either. Alright, well, since I can't really speak too much about airplanes, I'm not going to, but I can at least compare to a couple other castings from my old collection. Boy, how am I going to do this, though? I'm going to have to set up a big coaster. Hold on a second. Nope, I'm afraid the coaster idea is not going to work because I'm trying to compare it to other cargo planes. So, I don't have a 1/400 scale C160 Transall. I don't think it exists. I think it only exists in 1/200, but I try to avoid that scale because it's too big. But this is a C130 Hercules here. This is a smaller one. There are longer versions of the Hercules. But, you know, if you watch, I think it's what, many military movies, maybe American Made with Tom Cruise, maybe that Expendables. I think they were running the Hercules. So it's actually quite a bit smaller than this more modern airplane. But if we get into this other military lifter, this is the C-17, but this is a actual jet plane, not a propeller plane. So C-17 is quite larger. And then I think the largest one for at least NATO would be the C-5 Galaxy. And there we go. So I'm going to have to rearrange a little bit better because I'm going to bring out a really big boy next. So this is why even 1/400 scale, these are big models. So military planes are big and all, but commercial airplanes are just insane. So the Airbus A380, same company as this guy. Alright, so now let me back out here. I'm going to try to get a top view here. Boy, those things are so large I can't get them into focus. My photo booth is too short. Okay, well now you get a sense of scale. Although without a sense of human scale, it's kind of hard, right? Even if you've been on an A380, you really don't have a sense of how big it is because you're seeing it from inside an airport. But here's a Chevy Suburban police truck in 1/400 scale. Alright, just plop down the top of this thing. And then here's a Peterbilt semi-truck, you know, with like a 50-foot long trailer. Alright. So now you get a sense of, you know, size, I think. Or really how disturbingly large an A380 is. It's just crazy how big it is, right? Any one of these planes would look really huge if you stood next to it. But yeah, that's why I like collecting scale models. It's just interesting to see, you know, the growth of modern planes, or really the growth of almost all vehicles. Right. Okay, so now I'm going to clear this out and get this spinning on its own. Okay, well, I think it's another cool model to enter my 1/400 scale collection. It's on par with all the other Geminis. If you're curious, all those other planes, except for the A380, so all the military planes are all by the same Gemini Max line of airplanes. Gemini is the parent company, and Max is the sub-brand for military. But the A380 is made by a brand called Phoenix, like you know, the Flaming Bird, or the city in Arizona. So yeah, if you're interested in, you know, getting one of those, I would say the Phoenix A380 is probably the best of the A380s, but many other companies make A380s, so you can obviously research that. eBay is generally where I get most of these things, if not an actual local diecast airplane store, which are really far and few between anywhere in the world. There just aren't many people collecting these things. It's a really niche hobby, let's say that. Okay, well, there is one more plane I picked up recently, and so that video will come. But actually, there's two other ones. There's going to be a B-52, and then there's a Boeing P-8 Poseidon. So those are all one's in the mail and one's already here. But you'll see videos of those coming up soon enough. Alright, well, thanks for checking this out. Hopefully it's introducing you to a different hobby besides cars. Alright, thank you.